questioner will be Senator Gorton.
Mr. Freeh, you heard just before your testimony the staff report on matters relevant to this hearing. The facts outlined in that staff report are almost certain to find their way into our final report unless someone shows us that in some part they are irrelevant. I want to read you one paragraph that was the subject of Bob Kerry's question and ask you whether or not it is accurate. The staff report reads, the FBI's inability or unwillingness to share information reportedly frustrated White House national security officials. According to the former National Counterterrorism Coordinator Richard Clark, the National Security Council never received anything in writing from the FBI whatsoever. Former Deputy National Security Advisor James Steinberg stated that the only time that the FBI provided the National Security Council with relevant information was during the Millennium Crisis. Clark told us that Attorney General Reno was notified that the National Security Council could not run an effective counterterrorism program without access to FBI information. Is that a correct characterization?
I don't think it is. I can't speak for the frustration of other people, but with respect to sharing information, you know, I didn't provide written memos to Sandy Berger or the President or anybody else at the NSC, but as I said before, the Attorney General and I, every 2 weeks, almost like clockwork in the last 14, 15 months of our overlapping tenure, sat with Sandy Berger in his office for at least an hour, perhaps 2 hours, and went over every single piece of counterterrorism, counterintelligence case that we have. By the way, Dick Clark was never present at any of those meetings. Why Sandy Berger didn't want him there, I don't know. But we had detailed discussions of all those matters on a bi-weekly basis. So the notion that we weren't sharing information is, as far as I'm concerned, an incorrect characterization.
The FBI is a unique institution in the United States of America. You had a fixed term because of various activities under your predecessor, J. Edgar Hoover, and attempts, some signed successful in earlier administrations, to use the FBI for political purposes. There seems to be a certain divorce or distance between the FBI and the White House. Did you feel an ability to go to the President of the United States or to someone else in the White House during the Clinton administration freely? Did you feel that the White House felt free to contact you and communicate with you and ask you for information in a normal matter, outside of the realm of politics, during the Clinton administration? How many people in the White House did you ever see or communicate with? And then would you answer the same question with respect to the current Bush administration?
Yeah. Yes, I will. I don't feel that I had any restriction or any prohibition, or certainly no reluctance to discuss and communicate with anybody appropriately in the White House, in the State Department, in the Defense Department, with respect to any of the matters we've been talking about today, or any other FBI matters. There was certainly no distance or separation between the Attorney General and I. And I had in both administrations, I think, the same relationship. I never felt any restrictions or inhibitions about communicating things. I don't think they did either, and they never expressed any to me at the time.
One final question, like the first question, another paragraph in the staff report. The Department of Justice Inspector General found that when the FBI designated national and economic security as its top priority in 1998, it did not shift its human resources accordingly. According to another external review of the FBI, by 2000 there were twice as many agents devoted to drug enforcement matters as to counterterrorism. On September 11th, 2001, only about 1,300 agents, or 6% of the FBI's total personnel, worked on counterterrorism. Are those accurate statements of fact?
No, they're accurate, but again, I think they have to be balanced with the discussion we've had here today about resources. And with all due respect to the congressional appropriation process, in 2000, which was the last counterterrorism budget year that I testified for, I asked for $860 million. I'm sorry, $360 million, 890 positions. I got 5 positions and $6 million. You can't fight a war with those kinds of resources, so your report is accurate. I would hope the commission would expand a little bit on the executive director's brief, although accurate statements about resources and legal authorities.
Thank you, Mr. Freeh. Thank you.